Sunday show presented to you by the Birdsall Lawfirm, the official injury lawyers of Pro Pels Talk Located, 19 Poydras Street by the Superdome. Give them a call at 504-523-5413. If you're someone you know has been involved in an accident, the Birdsall Lawfirm, the official injury lawyers of Pro Pels Talk. Before getting the show, make sure you smash that like button. We're going to talk about Zion Williamson tonight. How far can this team go in the playoffs? We're going to answer all y'all's questions, comments. Chaz, Ross, Lito in the building tonight. Let's do it.
First took away. Gas for this. Get your money's worth now.
Chaz, first off, great to see you, man. As always.
I appreciate it, man. I appreciate it.
Back in the building.
Man.
First segment, we'll go with you, Lito. Is this the best version of Zion Williamson that you've seen in New Orleans? And before you answer that question,
okay,
let me play this clip.
As Jose tried to front the play, Najee, how about a line?
Did you see the second gear?
Yeah. He downshifted. Yeah.
Go ahead.
Yeah. So like what you're getting from Zion at this point is the different gears from him. One of the things that I complained about from his time here is that his lack of motor. You'll get a play, but it wouldn't be consistent. It wouldn't be the consistency of the movement on the court. Like you would get spurts in certain areas. Now it's like I'm gonna just say he's fully in shape. Like, I mean, he looks great. I'm not pausing that. He looks great. He is a guy who, yeah, I'm gonna say this is the best all-around version that I've seen of him. I've seen him score more points for sure. I've seen him dominate more in games for sure. But this team building leader type guy that you have right now, you've never seen that before. He was never vocal like this before. All those things, in my opinion, go into the culmination of something that you haven't seen from him before. And it's good to be peaking right now at this time if I'm him and them.
Yeah. Chaz, what have you seen from Zion this last couple weeks?
I think what you're saying is the result of a standard being set. And I think the national media, I mean, I know a lot of, myself included, because we know the national media doesn't really follow the team, but you got to know what some people respond to. Zion's a guy who tends to respond to a lot of negativity. And so far, he's meeting that challenge head on. He's responding to the Stephen A. Smiths. He's responding to some of the things we say on this show. He's just responding to the national talking heads. He's in shape now. And for me, the thing I'm seeing that dude. When I first saw Zion debut as a pro in the preseason, I was like, I've never seen a player score easier than Zion. And I don't even see that level of athlete yet. I don't see him back to that level of like springy athlete just yet. But everything just looks so easy at this point. Like, it looks like, damn, there's really nothing you can do with this dude aside from foul him or hope he misses. And for as good as he's been, I think there's at least another level or so he can take it to. The thing that's impressed me the most has been the rebounding, because to me, that's the things that are like not the fun part of the game, like, the dirt work. To me, that's been the thing that I'm like, all right, something has definitely shifted. This passing has always been good. He hasn't been crazy with the turnovers for a while. Like, he's having a pretty good run without like a high level of turnovers. He's been exemplary. He's been exemplary, and I would say it's a little surprising to me. It's a little surprising to me. So I got to give him credit.
Give him credit, Ross. Speaking of rebounding, Lito. I love the way that Lito talked about this a couple months ago. But when the opposition misses a shot there, and Zion gets the rebound and goes, it's basically a live ball turnover. To Chaz's point, he's rebounding now. Is that been, I guess, one of the keys of his turnaround lately? Him just rebounding?
I mean, yes, but that's not the rebounding is a byproduct of him being in probably, in my opinion, the best shape he's been in since he's been here. So it's like those two things are sort of interconnected, right? Because if you're having to spend all of your energy on the offensive end, then some of those other things are going to sort of come and go a little bit. For me, it's purely that he's in the best shape that he's been in, period, in his time here. That's allowing him to get more rebounds. That's allowing him to have different gears in the third and fourth quarter, which we haven't really seen. Nope. That's allowing him to play defense in a way that we definitely have not seen. So for me, all of that goes back to that he's finally in NBA top quality shape. And I think you're seeing like the full version of Zion.
Chaz, back to this clip. I want to play it again. And I want to hear your thoughts on it. Cause like looking back at it, obviously you've seen him take off before, but I feel like he's jogging, and then it just explodes. And it's something that we've seen it at Duke in college, and we saw it a little bit here and there. But like this, to me, I feel like is like peak Zion.
As Jose tried to front the play, Najee, how about a lot?
Like Scoot Henderson is trying to grab him. Like Scoot's trying to like stop him from going to goal, and he just takes off. No one even stops him. Like. Is this or have we arrived? Have we finally arrived?
It depends on what you mean by that, right? Because again, it's like we already knew that this was a thing. Like we already knew that the point Zion thing was a thing. Like we knew that, we saw it last year. We were kind of like begging for them to like kind of implement it. Like for me, I feel like Zion and JV have similar temperaments as far as, you know, I'm willing to play my role and fit in, but if you want to see the best version of me, you got to feed the crow. Like, you know what I'm saying? You got to put the ball in my hands. And so far, we've seen that as a result. I think a lot of it has to do with what Ross said about his conditioning, but I also think his conditioning is a byproduct of the point Zion thing. Like, even still, the best I've seen Zion look physically this season was that Utah Jazz game where it was just like, oh shit, is this the same dude I just saw like Tuesday? Like this is Thursday. He looks like a totally different person just because they're like, oh, today we're bringing point Zion back. It's like that's an extra. He refers to himself in the third person, man. Like, you know, it's a thing. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's something he's very conscious of and aware of, and I think he knows that all eyes are on him. So that's like another motivating factor. I would just like to see it continue. So far, I think it's been a bit of a crazy stretch. He had that one like bit of a rut where he was getting fouled like crazy. But I think, and you could date back to probably, let's say if you just want to go back to the Washington game, from the Washington game to now, it's been more consistent than not, like his effort and energy on the floor.
Go ahead.
Is it the best version of Zion I've seen? No. Is it the most well-rounded, complete version of his game I've seen? Yes. The 21 season, it was insane.
So you're telling me he has another level?
Yeah. If we reverting back to what I saw in the 20, yeah,
he got another level.
In the 21 season, it was all offense. He was incredible offensively. He was still a liability defensively.
Yeah.
I think defensively now, I think he's becoming an overall player. That's where I'm at, because now you're seeing the weak side blocks, the chase down blocks. I mean, how many times? Who was it? I mean, in the post game, he's like, "Coach, let me take Kawhi." Mm-hmm. Like that's never happened.
Well, when I say the well-roundedness, this game is rounding out. You starting to see it slow down to a point where it kind of looks like mastery in certain aspects of the game. He sees the block now. Maybe it was just moving so fast before he couldn't.
Do you think he sees it, or do you think he
like Ross said,
he's in
shape to do it.
Right.
You can see it and you can have the athleticism, but if you don't have the conditioning, none of that really matters. It's like a slow speedboat. What's the point?
So I guess that leads to my next question. So here, real quick, guys, make sure you smash that like button. I see all y'all's comments and questions, so I've started them. We'll have a later segment in the show where we're going to answer all y'all's questions, comments, and whatever y'all have for us. So, Ross, I guess leads to my next point is, what do you think changed with Zion on the Pelicans?
In what way?
So, in shape, active, a ton of energy on the floor. I mean, how many times has he screamed and just getting the crowd? Like, I'm trying engagement.
Yeah, I think he. I mean, I don't know how much changed like with the Pelicans per se. I think again, we've talked about this a bunch of times. You can go back to that Laker game where it looked terrible and we got blown out. And the entire country, Chaz alluded to it, right? They don't really watch a lot of Pelicans games. You don't see a lot of coverage except for situations like that. And so, yeah, dude had, 4 straight days of all he saw when he picked up his phone or turned the TV on was people calling him fat and out of shape and lazy and a bust and disrespectful to the game and this, that, and the other. And he took it personal. And that's great. Maybe he grew up a little bit. Maybe he's maturing, which is to be fair, a common thing for somebody that's 23 or we joke about it all the time. And it's not really a joke. Think about the dumb shit we used to do when we were 23 or 24. Right. And so he's had some stuff off the floor. He's had a child. He's had some negative thing. There was whatever, maybe he just grew up a little bit, or maybe this is the first time that he just by luck has stayed healthy. Maybe that's all it is.
But do you think
maybe
it's luck or do you think it's investing in himself?
Could be both. It's probably, most likely it's both because I think, two things go hand in hand, but I don't know how much really change. I don't change in the sense of are we doing something different? I'm not sure. I think Zion is just either played his way into shape or is in the best version of himself or however you want to word that. But I don't know that we implemented some strategy or something that's really changed.
Well, see, I would have to.
So
this is where I'm at with it because we talk about the 6 minute, the spurts and things like that, and keeping him healthy. Chaz looked at it, played Friday night against Clippers, played 35 minutes, 34 points, 14 and 21 for the field. Then the following night, 34 minutes, 26 points, 11, 17 from the field. And I think he played the entire third. Is that correct? Did he play the entire third?
I think last night he played the entire third, right?
Yeah. So is that the first time all year he's played an entire quarter from start to finish?
Shit, might be.
I think it might be.
Maybe.
And that's on a back-to-back.
And that's what I'm telling you is that it's not yes, we're doing some things differently, but Zion couldn't play a whole quarter 3 months ago.
Right.
He couldn't. By 8 minutes in, it would have been obvious that he, he needs a break. That's what I'm saying. Yes, things are happening. There are different results, but I don't know how much of that was natural change versus forced to change. And maybe I'm not making sense, but I just think so much of it has to do with your building block, the centerpiece of your team, finally being able to just freely play.
Yeah, I think is one of the things that he probably found. And I can't speak on this because I don't know the situation. One of the things that he probably found in fatherhood is probably discipline. It didn't look like he had a lot of that before because he was pure talent, and it didn't look like even in this organization a lot of people weren't telling him no.
Right.
A lot of people were just being yes men, and you could see the difference in his body. You could just see it. He just looks like he shed himself. He you know what I'm saying? He looks like a different person. Even you were at media day. Even his attitude now from when he was at media day, he did a whole 180. He came to media day, bro. He sat down. He was just let's get this shit. Let's get it started. You know what I'm saying? He was real short, real one-worded. And now you starting to see his personality again. You starting to see he cursed in the interview. Bro, you'd have never did that before.
Right. And Chaz, you talked about this a lot too. He's always showing up at the post game. Win, lose, draw, bad game, good game, doesn't matter. He shows up every day. I just think maturity wise, and to Lito's point, I feel like there's just more engagement. There's more just happiness. He's enjoying the game. That's what I'm looking at.
I think as much as I want to give him credit, it's look, bro, we wouldn't be as astounded by this because everyone knows your talent. Everyone knows how talented you are. And again, this is probably not even the best version of you. You probably got another level or two you can take it to. You know what I'm saying? But it's at the same time, Zion, he's always been, as CJ said, the son of this team. He's the son. The planets revolve around Zion. When he's not living up to that standard, that it throws everything out of whack. Luckily, the Pelicans have been able to survive that this season because this hasn't been the best season for him nor Brandon, nor Willie. Like guys left. Trey hurt, when he would start the season hurt. It was a lot to be desired starting off in the season, and they finally kind of, I think they got beaten to submission at some point, and from that point, everyone played their part. Look, this is what we need to do. We always knew this is what we need to do, but fuck it, we're here now. Everybody gotta, if we decide to go this route, everybody gotta live up to it. And I think so far that's what has happened. And all the reason I kind of don't want to give him a ton of credit with that is because, bro, I'm not surprised by anything he does as far as like his talent level. I just know you put the ball in his hands, you're gonna see some incredible shit. Like that's just, to me, that's just always what it's been. Even you go back to last season with the Phoenix game, with the windmill 360 and all that shit. It's like, this is who this guy is. Like this guy is, he's box office.
He's Showtime. Like that. Yeah,
he's Showtime. Like, and it's just, he hasn't always lived up to that. Now that he's living up to that, you just want to see that trend continue. And I just think, they put the ball in his hands. He maybe he felt trusted by the organization, and that led him to want to not disappoint them. And I think that, and a big part of it is the disrespect he's received on a national level, which I'll say 80% of it is probably warranted.
Yeah. So, Lito, you wanted this next topic, Brandon Ingram's sacrifice. Over the last couple games, the last couple weeks, points per game haven't been great, but I still think, he went on that stretch of 22, 24, 30, 34, then he dropped down to 12, 17, 7, 20, 13, 22. But I still think Brandon Ingram's playing some really good basketball. Overall basketball, I think defensively he's been great. Rim protection's been awesome. Defensively, I think he's been playing winning basketball. Mm-hmm. Are you seeing that as well? Look, we need the guy. He's going to need to score.
Look, we could just be honest. The Brandon Ingram, him being the lead scorer on his team, or the best player on this team, is a playing team. That's not a diss. I'm saying that's what happened, right? So the most success he's ever had is being being the best player on a playing team. Obviously, Zion was out, so I think that at some point, we've talked about, can they play together? Can they do this? Will it work? There's not many actions going on between the two. I think at some point in the last couple of weeks, still not a whole lot of actions. However, I believe that Brandon has bought in. And I'll be honest, I didn't think the buy-in was going to be this much of a drop-off to his scoring.
It was not a crazy drop. The last four, he had the 12, 17, 7 was kind of brutal, but, people can say blowouts, whatever like that. But
let me say this. As much as Ross, Chaz, yourself, me, we've talked about Zion's conditioning buy-in, I think you got to give Brandon's bought in on defense. Brandon is competing. I see Brandon like working hard to he's not accept. It was a point in time where if he was about to get picked, he would accept it. He wouldn't fight through it. Right. I'm getting picked, I'm dead. Right. Now you see Brandon fighting to go over. He's going under. He is hounding defensive players, and that's had a major impact. You talk about the Herb Jones effect, right? But at the same time, I think you got to give him credit, because it's something that Chaz talked about, doing the dirty work. That's something that's not going to show up in the stat sheet. Zion diving on the ground for loose rebounds, that's not something that's going to show up on the stat sheet. I think you give Brandon credit for the rebounding, the defense, the assists. He's been blocking shots. I think his sacrifice, if it is a sacrifice, because technically the sacrifice is about to get your team 50 wins.
Right.
So yeah, like I just want to commend him for buying in, and it may not be the type of basketball that he wants to play, right? It's not the style that he's probably familiar with. I think a lot of this may have, might have something to do with the Team USA disrespect or the lack of success in that market, where you come back to the NBA, you facing those guys, like, what can I do to get my team over the top at this point?
Right.
So
yeah. So look, I'm going to apologize for now. Of course, we're having some internet issues here at the studio, so bear with us. We're kind of freezing a little bit, but hopefully the audio is still fine. Ross, to Lito's point, what would you say about Brandon and his overall buy-in of his last couple weeks?
Yeah, I mean, the biggest thing I've noticed is defensively, right? Like, there's going to be a point, I think, in a playoff game or in a playoff series where, like, you're going to need Brandon Ingram to take 20 shots. There's going to be a game where you're going to need that. I think what I've seen is that Brandon has accepted that over an 82-game regular season with a healthy Zion, I don't need to, like, that's not the best thing every night. Like, I am second fiddle. And sometimes I'm even third fiddle. Like, that's, and maybe, I don't know if that's an acceptance or it's a forced acceptance. Like, sometimes you can just, like, greatness is in front of him right now. Like, he's watching Zion do the same shit we're watching him do. Like, he's clearly
right.
different than me. And so, whether you like that or you don't like that, it doesn't matter. I think Lito made the point. This other guy is going to get you farther. So hop in the passenger seat. Some nights that might mean guarding the other team's 5, like we all credit him for a few nights ago when he was working incredibly hard. Yeah. I thought had that to me was the valuable stuff.
He's guarding Jared Allen. Like, Jared Allen couldn't do anything for 3 minutes.
Valuable stuff you need to see from Brandon Ingram that is going to ultimately impact winning down the road in a playoff series when you're going to have to go small. So, like, seeing that kind of stuff to me is far more valuable and is going to affect us winning games far more than us rolling the ball out 32 times a year and Brandon Ingram taking 24 shots. Like, that's not a winning formula. We've seen that. But these other things he's starting to do, these can help you win playoff series. Assists, blocks, deflections.
When have you seen that before? You said you were talking about guarding Jared, like even attempting to guard a center. Like, when have you seen that before?
I from Brandon?
Yeah.
I haven't seen him play that. I mean, maybe there was that one playoff series when everybody was out and he was playing incredibly hard. But no, I can't really recall him playing that type of role before.
But to your point, Ross, I'm gonna get Chaz's thoughts here in a second. But, like, to your point, like, we need, like, don't make no mistake about it. Like, Brandon can't be scoring 8 and 10. Like, he needs to score. Like, we're gonna need this guy down the stretch. I just think right now he's playing winning basketball by making winning plays. I think he's making winning plays on both ends of the floor. Mm-hmm. Like, we talk about the Zion block and the alley-oop. Well, it all started because Brandon Ingram rotated over, got the block, Zion gets it and goes. So shout out to the saxophone guy there on Magazine Street. Chaz, go ahead about Brandon. What have you seen in the last couple of weeks from BI? Very interesting.
I thought to me, the last 2 times I saw Brandon play well was the Indiana matchups. And Ross kind of alluded to this. I kind of think he's been pretty shitty, to be honest. The last 5 games, I'm taking everything in context here. Look, man, I can't name 5 motherfuckers who play for the Hawks. You got the Cleveland. I'm looking at the numbers. Like, last night, 22 points on 21 shot attempts. 4 blocks. If zoom out to the last 5 games, he's averaging 1.2 blocks a game, 0.8 steals a game. He had 2 assists last night. And it's like he's 1 for 5 from beyond the arc. He's averaging 2 attempts this month from beyond the arc. It's like so much of the shit is like, I guess. It's like if you have to take something positive from it, is the point that I think is where you start to say, well, you see him more effing on defense. And it's like, that's cool, but if I was judging him by, someone mentioned Aaron Gordon. If I was judging him by Aaron Gordon's standard, then I would say, oh, he's been fine. But I'm judging him by a motherfucker that's due for a crazy contract moving forward. So my standard for him is totally different. My standard for him has to be like on a whole nother level. And I think, again, before last night, 2 for 4 from beyond the arc, 0 for 1 from beyond the arc, 0 for 1 from beyond the arc, 2 for 2. You're talking about the Philadelphia game. He played 35 minutes. He goes 6 for 10, 17, 4 turnovers. He had 2 blocks in that game, 5 assists, 7 rebounds. Solid game, but no Tyrese Maxey. You're talking about him versus what's the light-skinned dude, man? With the back.
Tobias?
Yeah, Tobias Harris. You're basically talking about him versus Tobias Harris. So it's just like for me, I don't want it to be a thing
scoring output too, Chaz, with the like we talk about the defense. Obviously, that's been a plus. Like, do you think he's got to be better scoring output, or is it more just about the
I think he's been generally not that good. Like in the Atlanta game, I remember seeing him get his 6th point in the 3rd quarter, and I was like, "Oh shit, he only got 6." Because for some reason, I thought he was having a better game. He ended the game with 7 points. So, and
let me ask you this. Let me ask you this, because I mean, I agree with you to a certain extent that if you're judging, but like I don't want to judge him on at this point a theoretical, right? Like, yes, I understand he wants some crazy extension, but he doesn't currently have that. And so, if all we're talking about is he's the same somewhat inefficient player he's been, but he's just taking less shots. Isn't that some of the addition by subtraction that we've been wanting, right? Like we've in essence replaced, early in the season when he's taking 21, 22, 23 shots every game, we've now carved that back to like 16, 15 shots a game. And Trey Murphy is taking the other, though. Like, so we've now replaced, I think, at least, I mean, this isn't like perfect math, right? But now replaced, let's call it 6 Brandon Ingram tough 2s every game with Trey Murphy, like relatively wide open 3s. And to me, that seems like the impetus for why I think in certain situations we've looked a lot better offensively. And so but like, I guess just address that, right? Because that's what we've been wanting, like take less of these shots. And so maybe it's not, again, it's almost back to the Zion thing. Is it a forced change, or was it just a natural change because Trey Murphy's here and he's making a bunch of 3s now? Like, yeah, you got to keep giving him the ball.
Well, I think you gave me a really good opportunity there, because this isn't his first rut this season. And that's the thing where I'm like, well, fuck, this happens every 10 games or so, where it kind of gets to a bit of he goes through a bit of a rut. And I'm still not seeing the 3-point attempts. And that's the thing that's really like, well, come the fuck on. Like, yeah, you don't have to take the difficult mid-range shots, but I still would like at least 4 3-point attempts a game. Prior to last night, he had 4 and 5, so that's a sign of he's getting up there. But prior to that, it was 2, 0 for 1, 0 for 1. So it's like, it's kind of like a all right, type thing. Whereas like I'm not blown away by his contributions. And I'm the person. Look, I'm the guy who said I think this dude could average 10 assists. Like I said this. I think he can. I think he can average a triple double. I think he can average it. Yeah. But it's just like this is not his first rut this season. And I see comparable players who are outplaying him. So if I'm comparing him to like the league, it's like, it's been okay, 22 points on 21 shots is awful. Like that's an awful game. By any metric, it's awful. But it's just a rut. He probably shake out of it. It's just a rut. But we'll see.
Oh, I get to it. I got this one, chat. But like to this comment room, like he's calling it how he sees it. Like I don't think this is like at all being hateful. I think he's just saying that he literally expects a certain standard. Like he just said, averaging a triple double. Like Brandon is extremely talented. You're going to need him in the playoffs. Like we need him to play well. Like when he plays well and Zion plays well, we're really good. And like that's the thing.
Here's the thing too, Justin. I'm not calling it how I see it. I'm calling it how it fucking is. This motherfucker had 7 rebounds last night. Game before that, he had 5. Game before that, he had 5. He had 7. They're playing against nobodies. They're playing against fucking nobodies.
Schedule's about to open up here pretty soon.
So go ahead, come on,
Go ahead, Lito.
You finished?
Yeah.
All right. So look, I want to give some nuance to the first part of what I said. He is playing great. To me, defensively. I want to state that defensively he is playing great. However, going into the playoffs, we had this talk the other day when Chris was on the show. he's gotta figure out a way where he had 22 shots. What was the last game you said? 22?
21 shots.
21 shots, and he had 22 points. He's got to figure out a way where he can, and this is on the coaching staff too. They've got to figure out a way to get him involved and be efficient with the coverages that Zion is eventually going to see in the playoffs. He does have to take some of those threes, 3 or 4 of them a game. Like Chad said, I do agree with that point. I think that we can't win a playoff series if Brandon is going to average 13 points a game.
No, absolutely not.
It's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. He's going to have to. And you know what? I'm saying the coaching staff, it's on Brandon. Brandon has to figure that out with.
But you also got to think the rotation shorten up. The shots go more to Zion, Brandon, CJ, Trey.
Right. But I'm saying, yes, but he's got to figure out a way within that to where he doesn't. I've been saying this for a long time. Instead of, the best version of Brandon for me, if he's not gonna shoot threes anyway, right? So literally, just if Zion is on the left, Brandon can post up on the right. He likes to receive it on the. Oh, that's crazy!
Wow,
that's crazy! Wow, yeah, hit the pause button, Justin. That's crazy.
Wait, shit!
Chaz, I'm sorry. You back and I'm talking like this. This is crazy.
I want to thank the Lord. I want to thank Coach Harbaugh. Fucking love you, man. Love the shit out of you, man.
All right, now you're good.
I'm sorry. So Brandon, he likes to operate on the right side of the floor. I'm sorry if I was, but that was light skin. My bad. Look, instead of starting on the perimeter, right?
Just throw him on the block on the left side with Zion down screen. This isn't that hard, man. Like, it's
just, bro, 2 dribbles, right shoulder, left shoulder, 2 dribbles. That's it. Efficient as fuck. That's it.
Yeah.
To me, it's just at a point where it's like, look, he ain't like with the threes, especially. It's just, I think I said it in the last show I did. Like, I've come to accept that he's just not gonna take the motherfucker.
Can I ask you this question? Do you care? This might sound a little crazy. Do you care more about 3-point attempts or 3-point makes when it comes to Brandon?
I care more about the attempts just because
at a certain defense point, honest, right? It's kind of
like you got to keep the defenses honest. And even though, regardless of how I might feel about Brandon, he has the reputation of being a solid three. If you're not a person who's like studying his game or you watch him every night, it's going to say he shoots 36% from beyond the arc. So teams are still going to run out and contest. He has games on film where he's made like 8 threes. You know what I'm saying? So it's a part of the fucking game. Like, it's going to help him at any given time. When you see stalls, like in the offense last game, that was a competitive game going into like that Zion crazy run. Atlanta came back. Like the Cavaliers, you got blown out of the water. Like, you know what I'm saying? These games have been competitive without oh man, it managed just as much as when you didn't. But yeah, so like, at the end of the day, it's still the process thing. These are things you still have to do because you got a guy like Darius Garland who's gonna come out, shoot fucking 4 and 5 threes. You have to keep pace with these guys, especially when you're not playing Hawkins, you're not playing Matt Ryan. You know what I'm saying? Trey's gonna have a bad game. Herb's gonna have a bad game. CJ just came back from having, a string of bad games. So you need Brandon to kind of, Zion doesn't shoot threes. So JV doesn't really shoot threes. So that leaves Brandon as the only other equalizer in the starting lineup. So it's just common, basic logic, in my opinion.
Yeah. So over 200 people here in the room on a Sunday night. It's awesome. Make sure you smash the like button. Helps the channel out. Presented by Company Burger, located 4600 for Red Street. So once again, I'm starting a lot of y'all's comments and questions. We're going to answer them later in the show. Ross, start with you. I got a good stat here for you.
Give it to me.
Last 10 minutes.
Wow.
That is tight. Even before they give it to me, everything about it was crazy. Everything about it was crazy. The lead up was crazy. Just everything about it was crazy.
Chad, it's always good to have you back, bro. It's always good to have you back. Last 10 games, Trey Murphy shooting 45.4% from deep. 19.1 points per game.
Neat stat. He's played great. Trey's played great. I think, and it's why, going back to that last conversation, it's why like I disagree a little bit with the Brandon stuff. Like, if I'm replacing some of those Brandon shots with like wide open Trey Murphy threes, or some of this other things we've started to see out of Trey, the straight line drives, like some a little bit more like secondary stuff, like I'm okay with that. I think we all sort of knew that Trey Murphy could unlock something else with the team. Like he's a different type of 3-point shooter. He's a different type of floor spacer. And when he shoots like this, it changes a lot. Like it gives everyone a lot more space to operate. I think when Zion's not checking in for Trey, it gives Zion a lot more sort of freedom and space to operate. He just changes everything about the offense. He really does. And he's been great. I mean, I don't have the stats in front of me, but I think he's one of those guys. Five always says when Herb Jones plays well, we win. Well, like I feel like when Trey Murphy shoots the ball well, we win. Like there's just a few of those some of those role player things that are they're true. Like, and they ultimately turn into wins. Those guys play well when they're elite in their role. Like we win those games.
Lito, 9 straight games of double-digit points for Trey Murphy. He dropped 26, 28, 34, 28, and last night dropped 20. So 5 out of the last 9, he's dropped 20 or more.
Yeah. It's almost like when your knee is healthy, you play well.
I gotta stop the show here for a second. Beans looks like he's about to call Benny the Jet Rodriguez stealing home. Oh my fucking god!
The Jets stole home.
You're fucking Smalls from the Sandlot. Dang, you got Beans and Smalls. That's incredible. Go ahead. Sorry.
Wow. That's so wild.
I mean, listen, make no mistake about who Trey Murphy is and what he does. I mean, although I hate those 4.3 point attempts.
Not when he's in rhythm like that.
I don't like him. I don't care. I don't like him.
Okay.
It's only one person I ever want to see shoot that shot.
You know why I do like it? Because now when that's in the game plan and Trey Murphy's actually hitting those shots, whether it be a 35, 40% clip, I don't know yet. The defense now has to draw out. Now they have to draw out to 30-something feet. So that creates more space. And I know you don't like it, but I don't mind him taking the shot because I do think it draws the defense out further, which gives you more room to operate.
I guess I need to see what he's shooting it at.
I would love to see that. I don't know. I'm sure it's probably low. It's probably in the 30s. But I understand why. I think the coaching staff, we talk about this all the time. If you can take those shots and hit them at like a 25, 30, 35% clip, it's in the game plan with the defense. Like once he crosses half court, you have to defend.
Listen, let me object to that because you posted something this morning about him feigning to
that was awesome.
Catch the pass, and he literally when he did catch it, he went up and shot it.
Yeah.
What is the point of shooting that bitch from 40 feet if I can shoot it from 25 feet
That's fair.
and do the same thing? And I can shoot it at a higher clip.
That's totally
I still hate that shot too.
I'm 6'10". I can shoot it over anybody. Why would I give away my advantage and step back? I'm not
saying you're wrong.
Okay.
I see your point too.
I think you're probably the same as me. Like I'm okay with them when he is it just purely as a heat check? Like you've hit 2 in a row, and for whatever reason they've like the defender's still far enough away, and you're 3 feet behind the line, and you just catch it, and it's like, I mean, at that point it's in rhythm, and you've already made a couple. I'm cool with that.
Look, when he was struggling, I didn't like
when
him.
he just hoists one, like when that's his first shot of the game, I hate it.
That's fine.
He too good. I ain't gonna lie to you. To me, it's a settle for me, unless it's a heat check.
Yeah,
because he too good of a player. That's
such a good question. Do y'all believe in the heat check? No, I'm not.
I do. I absolutely.
I
Absolutely. And I think you're doing yourself a disservice if you don't.
I do too. And the team. I think if you hit 2 in a row and he doesn't take that, because that's the shot that like can end a game.
Yeah.
That's the shot that can like blow the roof off of a building in the first. I go back. What was the Clippers over there like a month ago, a little over a month ago when he hit like 3.
Yeah, he hit 3 in the first quarter. Yeah.
That's like you hit 3 in a row like that. It that changes an entire game. That's the whole like analogy we talked about last week. I think that's the defensive end coming off like, when the tackle just can't block him, and you just take your defensive game plan or offensive game plan in that situation, you just throw it away. It's like, well, fuck it.
So Chaz, you've been on record. You've been saying this for weeks now that after All-Star break, I'm going to then judge Trey Murphy. Well, now if you start looking at his season stats, he's creeping up now. He's up to 38% shooting from the 3-point line. He's now averaging 14 points per game. He's up to 45% from the field. What are you seeing from him now over these last 10 or 15 games?
This is averaging 20 points on a month, 5 rebounds. Another guy who I've been really impressed by his tenacity on the board, something that I've really been asking for a lot. Damn, he even had 5 assists in this Portland game. I'm seeing, what I expected to see, typical post All-Star break trade. Had a little bit of a stinker versus Cleveland, where you saw some confident issues. But aside from that, had a 30-point game, 28-point game where he missed 2 free throws. So very easily could have been another 30-point game and another 28-point game. He's just been playing incredibly offensively. But to me, again, that rebound, and that can't be undervalued, because that's something I think everyone's really been begging for. And now that we're seeing that opens up a lot of different. Damn, he has a 60% true shooting percentage on the season. That's pretty good. Because Zion shit like 61. But that's really impressive. But yeah, I just think just based on this month, these past 7 games, it's only had 1 bad game. And aside again, like I said before, it's averaging 25 and 2 so far. So if he can continue just his consistency shooting from beyond it, or has to stay confident. I kind of noticed he got a bit rattled when against the Cavs, when they started really pressing and running them off the line. He didn't really know how to handle that, but he rebounded and bounced back with a 14-point effort, 5 from 10, 4 from 9 from the 3-point arc against LA. Then on the back-to-back last night, 20 points. 4 from 8 from behind the arc, 7 for 13 from field goal percentage.
He's also having highlight plays. Like he's getting multiple alley oops now. Like he's gotten back to back. I think he had one against LA on the baseline. Yeah, and he had one against Portland. Do you have one?
No, I know you caught the alley on Paul George.
Yes, yeah, on the baseline. Yeah. Ross, you want to say?
Yeah, I was just going back to the rebounding point. Is like I'm at a point where I'm willing to forgive Trey Murphy's like generally poor defensive play, like overall play, because he's so good off. Like he can unlock so much offensively if he'll just rebound. Like I don't even care about you even becoming an average defender. I really don't. Like if you can shoot like that, and you'll rebound the basketball at like a pretty high clip, I'm cool. Like I don't even need you to be that good. Like I don't even need you to be average.
When you're that good offensively, you just have to be average defensively.
I just need you to like just rebound and play off it. Yeah, it's like I'm past the point of like I'm not even going to complain about him. If he rebounds, I won't say a word about the defense,
because I don't care. That's defense.
Yeah, like who cares?
That's one of the big. I love that I love that people gloss over rebounding, because like rebounding is one of the most important things in basketball. Like you miss 50%, 60% of your shots on a nightly basis.
And he has the ability. Like that's the thing. It's like he's got the athletic skill set, and he's 6'10" or whatever. And generally he's guarding someone that's shorter than him. It's like if he will just commit himself to that, I'm good. Just give me a little effort defensively. He's not real great at staying in front of people, but it doesn't matter. I don't care. Who cares?
But back to Chaz's point, because I think also, when Trey Murphy is rebounding this and is just average defensively, Lito, this now gives Willie Green multiple options.
Yeah.
Multiple lineup options where like, okay, I can trust this to get a rebound here late in the last 2 minutes.
Yeah.
Right. He won't miss a rotation. We can switch 1 through 5. We can put Zion here. We can put Brandon there. And this is what I'm talking about. Like, this is where I feel like it's turned, Lito, is like Brandon Ingram is now bought in defensively on both sides. Trey Murphy seems to be bought in defensively. And like, yes, you're going to miss rotations in a, for a 48-minute game. I understand that. It's the effort that I'm seeing consistently from everybody. And look, CJ's awful defensively, but there's always there's always the effort there, Lito. And like, so when Trey's rebounding like this, we saw Willie Green sub CJ out the other night in a late game situation. What is, I guess, your death lineup there in the last 3 or 4 minutes?
You want us to play faster? You want us to play with pace?
Pace and get stops. That's the dream, right?
All right. So either you've seen Brandon guard a 5. Yep. You're starting to see Trey rebound. Zion has the ability to. I mean, obviously, it depends on who the 5 is, right? And it's not. Listen, and when I say guard a 5, I'm not talking about for 48 minutes. Like maybe 10 at the most, maybe. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm not looking for a long stretch of basketball. But anyways, I'm saying you want a death lineup of that nature, then you gotta Trey has to rebound, Brandon has to rebound, Zion has to rebound, Herb has to rebound. That way, right? You take advantage. That team is really switchable on all sides of the ball. You can play with pace. You got shooters, you got finishers, you got mid-range scoring. You got guys who can get a bucket in any situation, right? Like that's the answer to my question. You don't want to play JV. You play with, when Larry plays, you struggle to get rebounds.
Yes.
So in this situation, they have to do the little things, like Ross said, the dirty work. Like Chad said, you have to do the things that nobody else wants to do. Rebounds do show up on the stat sheet, but it's not fun. It's not rebounding a glamour stat.
No. Ross, can I stop you for a second? I'm gonna get to commercial because I want to hear y'all's thoughts on the death lamp. So Chaz, hold on here. So also in the comments as well, I want to hear y'all's thoughts on death lamp. So let's hear from DraftKings for a minute, and then we're coming right back.
The NBA season is in full swing, and when I can't get enough of the action on the court, I spice things up by betting on DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the NBA. Right now, new customers can bet $5 and get $150 instantly in bonus bets. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app and use code BOOT. New customers can bet $5 to get $150 instantly in bonus bets. Only at DraftKings Sportsbook with code BOOT. The crown is yours.
Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit 1-800-GAMBLER.net. In New York, call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY 467-369. In Connecticut, help is available for problem gambling. Call 888-789-7777 or visit ccpg.org. Please play responsibly. On behalf of Boot Hill Casino and Resort in Kansas, 21 and over, age varies by jurisdiction. Void in Ontario. Bonus bets expire 168 hours after issuance. See dkng.com/promos for eligibility and deposit restrictions, terms, and responsible gaming resources.
Appreciate DraftKings. Go ahead, Lito, real quick.
Yo, I just want to give a quick shout out to my dog Gabe for the shirts. I don't know.
You can
see him. All right, cool. So holla at Gabe. Gabe is on Twitter. Gabe sent us these shirts, man. They for sale. I don't know if they still for sale, but they were live. But on Twitter, he is WHOTFISGAB 47. Who is Gabe 47?
Appreciate you, Gabe. Chaz got your shirt. We're gonna send it out of here this week. So appreciate you, Gabe. Go ahead, Ross, on your thoughts here on the death line.
It's like the reason we talk about it so much, and because we've still like seen limited success, I would say, if any, with that lineup. But the reason we talk about it so much is because very few teams, when you think about going small, like are able to still put out a lineup with this many tall players. Like most teams, when they go small, you're talking about playing like 3 or 4 little guards, right? And like some random, switchable big guy. We're still running out there in a small lineup. Brandon Ingram, who's 6'9" or whatever he is, Trey, who's 6'10", Herb Jones, who's likely a first-team all-defender and can switch onto anyone and do an unbelievable job defensively. So, and Zion, who's I think is actually a pretty switchable player too. Like whenever he gets into a stance, can deter drives and can box out and can rebound, do a lot of things. So it's like very few teams in their small, like their lineup that is supposed to be geared toward, hey, we're going to play with pace and try to outscore you, can run those type of NBA athletes out there with that much length and size defensively. And so that's why we keep talking about this, because it's like if they can figure that out, like this might work. This might be something that you can play in a playoff series in the right situation. So I guess that's why I keep going back to it, because it's different than other people's small lineup, like a lot different.
Yeah. Chaz, go ahead.
I think it's better than the starting lineup.
I mean, that's just a fact. Like statistically, that's literally a fact.
Yeah, just because we got so much data of that being bad versus, I think it's situational. Like, in the event you may need a big body in a JV to kind of compete for boards. I have seen JV have some really good, important rebounds. And I have seen JV.
Can I cut you off for a second? When has the coaching staff ever showed you though that they're gonna even like we play pause, but like we play big bodies all the time. Like JV's not in the closing line.
So that last game.
Yeah, well,
he's not. There's no chance.
Wait, so is the question, what do I think of that lineup, or what do I think?
What would your death lineup be?
Oh well, it would be the start minus JV with Trey, just because I think with this team you just lean offense. You just go offense all the way, and if it don't work, then it just don't work. But you went out with your best shot at winning offensively. You went out, like that. But I do think in certain scenarios that there are going to be points in time where you play JV minus one of the guys. I'm not sure. I think it becomes a toss-up between how Trey is playing and how Brandon is playing.
My bad, Chad.
No, you good. You ain't doing nothing. Yeah, it becomes a toss. Thank you, Talon. It becomes a toss-up between how Trey is playing that night and how Brandon is playing. Because, again, when teams, it don't work, but when they try to take Zion out, you need as much shooting as humanly possible. You need guys who are willing to shoot. And the reason why I wouldn't sit CJ is because for what it's worth, CJ never afraid to shoot that motherfucker. CJ gonna shoot that motherfucker. So, you need a guy who's always willing to shoot and take advantage of those opportunities. So I just think it's situational, personally.
That's fair. So situationally wise, right? So Lee, I'll just throw something out there. Say one possession game either way. We're not rebounding the ball very well. In these last couple minutes. Who's in your death lineup then? If we're not rebounding the basketball. Teams are getting multiple possessions or multiple looks in one possession.
I mean, there's only one guy on the team who can rebound.
Okay, so once again, I'm posing this situation to you where we are getting the stops, we're getting misses, but we are not boxing out.
Listen,
we can't get a rebound.
Listen. Hey,
I would go to Brandon at the 5. I would put Brandon at the 5, Zion at the 4, Herb at the 3.
You said we can't rebound though.
But I saw Brandon be able to box out Jared Allen and contain him. They only did it for 4 minutes. My thing is that if we're not rebounding, I definitely the answer to me right off the bat is, well, Larry can't play the 5. We're not going to rebound. I've seen Brandon do it. And I've seen him take the challenge. Will Willie go to that line? Because I think that's your best lineup. I think Brandon at the 5, Zion at the 4, Trey at the 3, Herb at the 2, CJ at the 1.
I mean, I'm not mad at that. I still don't think you'll be able to rebound.
I've seen
Trey and Brandon are going to.
I'm saying you talking about we getting out.
But Chad's talking about leaning into offense. Well, look, if we can't rebound, okay, I understand that. But you got your best 5 guys on the court.
I'm giving you the scenario. You're saying Larry and JV can't get a rebound, so you're leaning on Brandon and Trey to get a rebound.
I'm actually leaning on Brandon and Zion to get a rebound, not Brandon and Trey. I think Trey can be a good secondary guy.
I guess I need to see who we playing against, because I just don't see a scenario where we gonna win games with.
But there's this awkward. There's 6 guys and 5 players.
Yeah,
that's my thing. There's so for instance, Willie Green against, was it the Clippers?
Yeah,
He takes Trey out, right? Puts Larry in. Then CJ's struggling, takes CJ out, puts Trey in, and that lineup won.
Hey,
but there are gonna be nights where CJ's got it going.
Question: can you pull my dog's comment up real quick? Because he said
I don't know what BI.
Yeah,
this one,
that one.
BI better small ball 5 than Larry.
Water is wet.
That's my thing. I wanted to lean what.
No, I agree. We've been saying that like Larry is not a small ball 5.
Larry's 6'6".
We keep saying this. It's like I don't want like Larry is not a small ball 5. That's not what he is. Like Zion is a small ball 5. Brandon is
but Zion's 6'6". I know he's got the hops. I get it. But Zion's like
he different though.
Zion also weighed probably like 50 more pounds than Larry. That's really the equalizer hit with him, I think.
This goes back to my point. I think your best closing lineup is Brandon at the 5. Because I saw it against Cleveland, and I'm like, damn.
We lost that game.
No, but hold up. But in those minutes, in the 4 minutes, they outscored him 9-3, and they're literally within a Trey Murphy rims in and out. They would cut to 4.
With that particular thing, I just worry about situational awareness. I go back to that Golden State game where Brandon falls asleep under the rim. Divanchenko gets the rebound, offensive board, puts it back. We lose the game. Following game, Sacramento, Brandon falls asleep under the rim. I don't know who it was. Some random motherfucker got the offensive board, puts it back up. We lose the game. For me, if I desperately need a rebound, I want my most high IQ guy at the 5. If I'm desperate, like if JV hasn't failed yet, put JV out there. We just saw this in versus OKC.
Guys, we've seen it over and over. We have not. How many times have we seen JV at the 5 to close the game this year in crunch time? Seriously,
that's my thing. You saying
so you're gonna roll that out in the playoffs?
If you asking me and I need a rebound, I'm gonna go to the motherfucker who's a double who has. Then you're gonna go back to Jessica's comment.
Who is just too slow. There might not even be an opportunity because they'll just get the switch and the guard will drag JV out to the perimeter and that'll be that.
Oh, if we playing drop, then you failed him. If you know,
I don't think you can play drop in the last 2 minutes of a 1 possession game ever, like literally ever. I
mean,
think
you start dropping in the first quarter.
That's fine. First, second, third, I don't care.
You playing drop from the parking lot. You playing. They play drops on one. You sub JV out to put Larry in to still play drop.
Yeah. I think that's more about coaching and personnel. And because you're talking about a super clutch situation, maybe last 2 minutes type game, you desperately need a rebound. In that scenario, I've seen JV off the floor and I've seen that fail too many times where it's like, well, fuck, you got 2 Pelicans by the ball and trying to think of somebody who just Jalen Brunson gets the rebound. It's just I've seen too many goofy things like that happen. For me, just give me the guy. I want to go with the law of averages. Like if I'm the coach, I want the best possible person out there who can get the board, even if it's just on a defensive play, last 30 seconds, you call timeout, you sub JV to fuck out the game and go with a different lineup. I just think there's a lot of variables in it, and I just think for us with that.
And it's like the question is tricky too, right? Because how often are you really putting in like how often is that the answer to the question? Like we just need 1 rebound. Generally, they're going to say we need a stop. Right. Hey, we need a stop.
I don't think this
all 5 of you motherfuckers. Somebody got to get the rebound.
That's never the problem.
And that is why Larry plays, in their opinion. Which whatever is what it is. But that's why JV gets axed out of that lineup before we ever get to the conversation about rebounding. Is because they're saying we need a stop. Yeah. And JV's generally not and for what they're talking about, he's not the guy that's going to get you that stop.
That's totally fair. But look, it's a lot of it's a hot talking point, and I just want to make it very clear. Like this is not very easy. Like this is not an easy decision. This goes game by game by game. It's a really hard decision night in and night out. It does.
And when you look in the Western Conference, like there's going to be matchups where come hell or high water, JV's going to have to play.
Like let's just go. You instantly think Denver. You're like, yeah. I mean, look, I love Brandon. I'll try Brandon at 5, but Brandon against Jokic on the block, no. You're gonna lose every
but
time.
it's not just them. Either.
But it's not just I know. But like if Brandon's playing Chet, I'll take that matchup. If Brandon's taking who you want to take from the Clippers?
What if you got Rudy Gobert out there? Like
I'll take it.
Then
I will take that.
Make him score 40.
I will take Brandon Ingram on Rudy Gobert. Absolutely. Your one job is to box him out. That's it. That's all you gotta do.
But that's not fair.
You gang rebound it.
Yeah, that's tough though to say like, well, your one job is to box. Well, yeah, your one job is to box out someone that's, 60 pounds heavier than you, 6 inches taller. You know what I'm saying? That's a tough.
But I think that's when the gang rebounding comes in.
That's my point though. Is like it really, you can't look at rebounding that way, or else the answer is always the only answer we have is JV to that question.
Hey, I just like to point this out. It was I've seen JV slow feed. JV can't guard this. JV doesn't do that. I don't know if anybody remembers the first 2 to 3 months of the season when he was heavily involved in offense. He was averaging like 3 blocks a game for the first couple months of the season.
He was like, I remember you texted me, I think JV's a legit rim protector.
The stats told me that he was like a 110. He had a 110 defensive rating at one point. Like he was legit for real. And as the minutes decrease, the production is going to decrease. And also, like, I'm not about to give 110% every time you play me 15 minutes, you play Larry 28 minutes. I've not seen a situation where you sub Larry for JV and it has worked out in the Pels' favor. I'm just being honest.
Okay. Let's get to fan questions. Start with you first from Will's Tuts 21. Ross, do y'all think we maintain the 5th or 6th seed?
Yeah, they have. I mean, I think so. I think they maintain probably the 5th. And what are you, 2 games back at the Clippers now, maybe?
Game and a half.
Is it? Yeah.
I think the Clippers are playing right now, right?
I feel pretty good about us holding.
Clippers
on.
are down at the end or close to the end of the first.
I feel pretty good about us holding on to the 5th or 6th. I mean, there's teams that are kind of getting, injuries are starting to catch up with certain teams. The Lakers and Warriors haven't really made like the push. I kind of thought they might. Dallas is hovering. I don't know. I just don't really like those teams. There are dangerous teams behind the Pelicans in the standings, but I don't know that they're going to make the requisite. I don't know that any of them are going to go 13-3 over the last 16 games and pass stuff. I think something would have to happen, and we would have to somebody would have to get hurt, and then maybe we start playing poorly or whatever. But I think we hold on to the 5th.
Okay. Chaz from Irvin. Pels are 22-9 when Trey scores more than 10 plus points, 17-17 when he doesn't. Do you believe that Trey is the X factor to this team winning?
Yeah, just because Willie Green isn't, and the starters are bad. So Trey is kind of like he's kind of the last line of resistance there. So I do believe he's the X factor. I think if Trey, we said before also break, you don't just need Trey to play well. You need the best version of Trey Murphy, moving forward for this team to really have a chance to do something significant. So far, they've won the war of attrition. And they seem to have a lot of luck on their side. So Trey is like just filling out the spot that he's supposed to pause and being the X factor, being that guy off the bench, hitting big shots. Those 3-pointers are back-breaking plays. They're team demoralizing plays. Yep. Opposition, if you watched the Suns today, every time the Bucks hit a crazy fucking 3, Bobby Portis went crazy. Went crazy. Oh, we should trade it for Bobby Portis. But anyway, every time Bobby Portis hit a fucking crazy 3, it was just deflating to the Suns. So I think that's absolutely Trey's role this season.
Lito from Cream of Wheat Jones. It's time to start giving our coaching staff some credit as well. I know you want to talk a little bit about this, but giving Willie Green his credit.
Yeah, on bookermedia.com, we got shirts where if you want to give them credit, $25, man. Go ahead and get some credit.
Give him credit.
All the credit. Yeah, give him all the credit you want. Yeah, shit. Buy 2 shirts.
Hey, if you want to give him credit, give him credit. Put it back up one more time.
Oh, sorry. Damn. Struggling. Here we go.
There you go. Credit given.
You want to talk about it? That's all you want to?
No.
Okay, cool.
Can I say something there?
Real quick. Go ahead.
Yeah, I ain't giving no credit. just because none of us are like, well, Justin aside, we ain't like coaches, and it was the fucking simplest answer was put the ball in Zion's hands. Kind of, play your shooters a bit more, kind of tell B.I. tone it down a fucking notch and listen to JB. And surprisingly, when all that stuff starts kind of happening, things like we should be getting this money. So, like, if you want to give anybody some coaching credit, give it to us. Buy some shirts and give us the coaching
credit. Ross from Charles Armstrong, as a 23-year-old former D1 athlete, I can't imagine. This goes back to your comments about Zion Williamson earlier in the show. As a 23-year-old former D1 athlete, I can't imagine having to adjust to the professionalism and level of criticism within the league. About Zion Williamson, what are your thoughts on that? You talked about it a little bit, but do you think, you talk about maturing, like it takes a little while, but you feel like Zion's finally matured a little bit?
Yeah, is Charles Armstrong referring to himself as a 23-year-old former D1
I thought
athlete?
he was at first, but I think
or is he
he's comparing himself that Zion's also 23? Oh, I don't know. Maybe he's Division I athlete, or he's an old former Division I athlete.
I think he's talking about Zion.
He's definitely talking about Zion.
Yeah, I can't imagine having to adjust to the. I don't want to give like that. That almost makes it seem like I'm giving Zion a pass for like some of the nonsense. Like I'm not doing that.
Okay.
But I do think seems like he certainly has matured. And so I will give him credit for that part of it. But did I say something crazy?
I just saw your text.
Yeah. That's wild. So I will I will give him credit for it does seem like he's grown up and that he's maturing and stuff. But yeah, I mean, look, they got a bunch of other people that come in the NBA and aren't, overweight and doing some of the other things that Zion has done. So
Okay. Chaz from Eugene Hunter, do y'all think we live and die in the playoffs with the starting lineup?
Yeah. I think the only exception you might make is I think you may see JV out of the starting lineup, but I don't think if healthy, I don't think you see any other changes to that starting lineup aside from JV possibly being out. In fact, if Dyson is ready to play, I wouldn't be shocked to see Dyson starting in the playoffs.
For sure.
Y'all are crazy.
No, we're not.
Sure.
We're gonna talk about Dyson in a second. Hold up.
Starting in the playoffs.
Hold up.
Hold
on. We're gonna talk about that. It's gonna be a segment. We gotta get some super chats. Lito, Thomas, always appreciate you, man, pulling up, giving us a super chat.
What's up, Thomas? Appreciate you.
Appreciate you, Thomas. Thank you, bro.
You understand the question, but is BI slightly becoming a rim protector?
No.
Just
you want me to go on?
I mean, yeah, I'd like to elaborate a little bit.
I mean, no. Like, I know you have.
What's your definition of a rim protector?
Bam Adebayo, Mitchell Robinson.
Mine is somebody that can test like almost every shot at the rim, either blocks or contest almost like, and when I mean contest, I mean like alters shot, like Brandon Ingram and Brandon doesn't really like alter a significant amount of shots at the rim. He might pick up some blocks here and there, but he's not.
To Thomas's credit, is he slightly? Oh shoot, y'all keep going. Is he slightly becoming a rim protector?
No.
Not even slightly.
No.
Not even slightly.
Justin,
okay,
is he
what? No.
I want to ask you because you seem like you might have a different response.
Yeah.
So do you think he's protecting the rim for 34 minutes a night?
No.
Okay. All right.
That's fair. Shit. I mean, I'm just asking it.
Well, I felt like you
kept trying to
conversation
with a couple guys.
I thought you was gonna be like, yeah, nah.
You know what? I'm actually interested in this stat.
Shout out to Talon.
Yeah, Talon. Appreciate you.
Thank you, brother.
All right, let's go back to Dyson then. There's supposed to be, to my knowledge, there's supposed to be an update over the weekend. Just going off the timetable, not that they said anything. I've seen Dyson now for the last 2 weeks. Started off early with a leg sleeve, just doing simple dribbling, like form shooting, not moving at all, to literally dunking the ball at practice a couple days ago, moving around the perimeter, shooting, no leg sleeve. Lito, I'll start with you.
Yes, sir.
Could Dyson be potentially a help to this team? There's a comment in here. I don't know who said it, and I'm sorry I lost it, but I think Dyson.
You're a fool around and put Dyson at the 5. I knew it. I knew what you was about to. I knew.
Wait, hold on. Chaz been talking about this all. I'm not. Go ahead, Lito, because I want to hear Ross.
Ross fucking. Ross is pissed.
Y'all just forget. Like,
wait, no, it's not your turn. It's not your turn.
Let him go.
It's not your turn.
Let him go.
I don't have anything.
Let him go. Let him go.
It's just. I would need somebody to explain to me why. Like what? So what? It's almost like the same thing we've been saying about like when Larry Nance plays the 5 with that other group. Like, what do you think Dyson provides in that scenario that Brandon Ingram doesn't, or Herb doesn't, or Zion doesn't? Like, who comes off the court so that Zion can? I mean, so that Dyson can play the 5. Let's start the conversation there.
This is my comment here from Reed. I think he's a better 5 than Larry Nance.
I don't care about that. That's not that. That's like me saying I think.
Well, if you can't get a rebound,
like
you can't get a rebound. I like Dyson Daniels
like
out there. He can rebound the hell of the ball.
Matt Ryan's a better shooter than Jordan Hawkins. It don't matter. Neither one of them fucking play. Like, so I don't need to have that conversation because I don't think Larry or Dyson should be playing the 5.
This is kind of crazy. This is kind of a crazy comment. CJ, take out CJ for Dyson on defense.
The only reason I even brought Dyson up is because this is Willie Green, and I know Willie Green. Shout out to Angry and awful coaching. Shout out to him. Willie Green's unbelievably incompetent, especially when it comes to like rotations. So I've seen this man destroy Kyra Lewis, who hasn't played for fucking forever out there. I've seen him do it with Jackson Hayes. I definitely see a scenario where they say, yeah, we just want to get a little bit more defense out there. And it's like game fucking 4, game 5 of a series, and you're starting Dyson Daniels and JB's on the bench. Not that Dyson is starting at the 5, but you just got, it's no official center out there. You know what I'm saying? Maybe Zion or Herb is at center. You know what I'm saying? And Dyson just happens to be starting. That's the reason why I say that. Thank you, Steve, man.
If they did that, then like, and I understand where you're going, Chaz, but like, if he did that,
Tony Snell,
I would be in as soon as the game ended, I would be on this show calling for his job, like saying he should just resign. He should just quit.
For the Dyson Daniels stuff?
Can you imagine a starting like Dyson Daniels who hasn't started a game when everybody's healthy all year, and you started Dyson Daniels over Trey Murphy and JV?
That would be kind of crazy.
In a first round playoff game, people would lose. Like I would lose my mind. And I'm not saying like who cares. I'm just who cares, right?
I was talking more closing lineup, but
I'm nobody. But y'all, the whole conversation was around him starting a game. Like y'all, y'all are crazy.
That's okay. Here you go, Lito.
Happy birthday, Dyson.
Today his birthday?
I think yesterday was.
Yesterday.
Oh, yeah. Hey, no more excuses now, buddy.
Yeah,
21.
21.
No, he's 21 now, bro.
It was
He's
in
21.
show.
Happy birthday, guys.
He's 21.
Shout out to you, bro. Have a glass of milk.
Hey,
Have a day.
Rachel said Lito whispering about, was it her comment that you wanted to bring up?
Rachel, I don't know. Rachel, I was whispering. I don't know.
Shout out to Rachel.
Could have been that.
Hey, Rachel.
Let's see.
That felt sincere, John. That's sincere.
Yeah.
Oh, 504. You wild for that.
All caps.
HBD Dyson.
All caps.
Hour 15 in, over 220 people in there. Appreciate y'all on Sunday night. Make sure you smash that like button.
Shout out to Lala.
Man, y'all better leave Lala alone, man. Y'all better leave Lala alone, man. Stop, man. Lala yelled at us earlier.
You missed that. Did you miss? Were you there for? Well, we're not going to talk about it. Tom's forgetting the super chat. Appreciate that. We do have an offensive first always coach. Yes, we do. So let's talk about the schedule ahead. Lito, we'll start with you first. We're going to Brooklyn. I'm pulling it up here. I'm sorry for the delay. So we're going to go to Brooklyn on Tuesday. Got to have that one. And then Thursday, we're in Orlando. Then Friday, Friday in Miami.
Miami, yeah.
We all remember what happened with that. And then Sunday in Detroit, 2:00 game.
They win all those games. What you want me to say?
I
We
want
back. We so back.
Are you back or no? Do you want to come back down to earth, or you think we'll go
I'm
4-0?
So hold on. Give me the schedule one more time.
Brooklyn. At Brooklyn.
Win.
Okay. At Orlando. Don't even.
Win.
Easy.
I'm not saying easy, but
Okay.
it's gonna be a win.
Back-to-back in Miami.
You split it. Pause, if applicable.
I still think I'm real curious. I don't want to cut him off. I know we've already done this. I could just see a scenario where they rest guy. Like, when was the last time Zion?
We did
when was
say
the
that.
last time Zion had?
Why?
Because then I think you play Sunday
Yeah.
against Detroit. So you would play like I don't know what that is, 4 games in 7 days or something. And so I could just see them saying, man, if we do what he just said and we go beat the Nets, right? And then you let's say you win the Orlando game, that'd be what, 5 or 6 straight? Like, are you really trying to go have a fist fight in Miami? Or are you trying to gear your team up for the playoffs? And I understand why you wouldn't, and I hope we don't, but I could see a scenario where they say this might be the last chance we have to get 3 or 4 days off on the road, and they take off. I don't know.
Wait.
Hold up. I'm just trying to
Somebody-
say we're lagging a little bit. So once again, we do apologize to the lags. Fucking cops.
I didn't apologize.
Okay.
I'm not apologizing. For that.
I'll apologize.
It's not
for
our
you.
fault. It's not our fault. We didn't make the Wi-Fi.
That's fair. Go ahead, Lito.
I want to say this. I think we talked about this a couple pods ago, and I think the consensus was, what if they take the Orlando game as a scheduled loss and they play Miami to get the wins, I guess.
Chaz, do you think they could take a scheduled loss this late in the year?
I don't believe in scheduled losses, really. I
don't think you can. I don't think this late in the year, I don't think you can take a scheduled
the
loss.
reason I say that because I feel like their position is they pretty solidified, like in their 5 spot. I don't really, unless they just fall totally off the rails. I don't know, man, because they got so many scheduled victories. So at this point, if you did just decide to rest CJ, give CJ a veterans game off, if you did decide to do some shit like that, you still in the green, like you still in the black. So I don't think they necessarily have to do that. For me, just try to win. Just try to win. You still got things you need to try to work on correcting. Like, just try to win. Just try to get to the point where things are becoming second nature. That starting lineup still has to get a bit more cohesive. You want to ride the Zion momentum for as long as you can. Keep his confidence high. I think CJ probably deserves some time off. I wouldn't be mad if they gave JV a game or 2 off just to kind of clear his mental. Maybe Herb's still banged up. I think right now, I don't think it matters as much where you're. I think there's no difference between 4 and 5 to me. There's no difference, because if you're playing the Clippers, you're playing the Clippers. Not like I don't believe in home.
You don't care. You don't care about the home court.
Yeah, because that's not a real thing to me. Like, you know what I'm saying? That's not a real thing to me.
And the Pelicans have been great on the road. I think.
And they've been great on the road.
I think we might have the best record.
Y'all break it.
Y'all done. So, Chaz, can you hear me?
Yeah, you're good. You're good. I just couldn't hear Ross just now, but
It's all good. I'll get them. So what we're gonna do is we'll
Shout out 504 boy.
Yeah, so we'll.
Yeah. Oh, you took him off the Yo, we have some technical difficulties. If y'all can still hear me, I'm not sure what's happening here. Justin, say something. Oh, damn. Yeah, man. It's hard times. We got dial up right now. We're gonna be back. What they say, you grind the meat, bake the buns, and all that. Just check out Company Burger, located uptown by the Rouses. Check them out.
Company Burger is the official burger of Pro Pels Talk and Boot Crew Media. Located at 4600 Ferret Street, Company Burger has been locally owned and operated for 11 years. Grind the meat, bake the buns, make the mayo, get the homemade tots. Company Burger uses Creekstone Farms prime beef to create the best burger in the city with milkshakes to go and a full bar. Company Burger is open every day besides Tuesday from 11 a.m. to 10 p.m. Can't make it out? No worries, we have you covered. You can order online right now at thecompanyburger.com or check them out on the Toast or Uber Eats app. Company Burger, the official burger of Boot Crew Media. Chaz, can you hear us now or no?
Yeah, you're good. You know, that was my first
Chaz,
time really noticing
that was
the make
fucking
the meal.
hilarious. That was absolutely
Thank you.
hilarious. Lido, we got 5 seconds of Lido. Go ahead.
5 seconds is this. Listen. If you want to give anybody credit, we have shirts for sale. BootCrewMedia.com. They're $25. For $25, Ross, you could give all the credit in the world. Anybody you want to. Literally, just hand them a shirt. Justin, if you want to give anybody credit, hand them a shirt. Hey, here's the credit. There you go. 25. Boom. Bang of Pell America. The name is Bill Dude.
See y'all later.